Hey guys, welcome to free online tailoring video. This is day 3 and I am Bhavani from dewanisfashion. Subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Today we can see how to sew pillow cover. Quickly grab the materials required for today's class. You will need a sewing machine, a notebook, pencil, pen, bell pins, printed cotton material 2 meters each, because we are going to see two types of pillow cover today: a long scale, cutting scissors, an inch tape, a marking chalk, and matching thread for each fabric. First, let us see normal pillow cover with flap behind. This is the flap for the pillow cover, so that you don't need to put any buttons to hide your pillow. And you also have borders on all 4 sides of the pillow cover. Can you see the thread running? We are leaving about 1 inch of border on all the 4 sides. So the measurement includes all these borders and flap. Pause the video for some time and write down lesson 2 heading pillow cover, and measurements required are height and width. 17 is the height and width is 26. Now I will show you how to measure the height and width using a pillow. Take an inch tape starting from the top of the pillow up to the bottom with measurement. It comes around 26. You can also measure using pillow cover or pillow directly. Next, measure the height of the pillow. Height comes around 17 inches. Write down the height and width measurement, whatever you get on the notebook. Then measure accordingly. To the height, add 4 inch, so that total you will get 21. For the width, you have to multiply by 2 inch. You will get 52, because you have a front and a back. And in that 52, you have to add 8 inch width extra. That 8 inch is for the flap. So you would get total 60 inch. The cloth required to sew this type of pillow cover is, you take the maximum measurement required. See, you have total of 60 inch width. So 40 inch is 1 meter. So 60 inch you need 1.5 meter of cloth. Draw the diagram as shown in the notes. Now let us see how to cut the pillow cover. Take the material required. Make sure it is ironed properly. Open the material. This is 2 meters. What we require is only 1.5 meter. I have told 2 meters for safety purpose. This is the length of the fabric. When you open it up, you will have the fabric width. This part is also called as panna. This part is the width of the fabric. You have threads coming out. Usually we don't cut in the middle of the width. We cut only to the length of the fabric. See, you will get threads like this. This is the width part of the fabric. And the length part, you will have the border both the sides. That is, you won't get the thread out. That part is the length of the fabric. Now we have to fold the width of the fabric into 2. Now take an inch tape and mark the height of the pillow cover. Height is total 17 plus 4 inch, total 21 inch. When you fold the width and you do not get 21 inch, don't worry, just open the fabric and keep and mark 21 inch by 60 inch. Now we are cutting for 2 pillows. So I have fold the width and measuring to 21 inch. Then take the width measurement 26, double the 26 is 52. First let us take 26 from the top and fold it. Measure from the top, hold on 26 inch, then fold the cloth. After folding, measure on either side and see whether you have 26 inch correctly. After folding, you have to measure again to see whether you have correctly measured 26 inch. See, this part has 4 pieces because 2 pieces for front and 2 pieces for back. Next is the flap measurement. We have added 8 inch. You can also add 10 inch if you want the flap length to be extra. From where we have marked 26 inch, after that line, measure 8 inch. Here 1 inch will go for folding, so finally you will get 7 inch or 6 inch for the flap. If you want a larger flap, add 10 inch. Mark 8 inch throughout, then draw a line using the wooden scale. Now take the scissors and cut throughout this line. After cutting, cut the folded part because we need 2 pillow covers. Here we have only 2 folding and stitching and others are side stitching. This part you have to fold for 1 inch and this part you have to fold for 1 inch like you stitched for kerchief. Okay, now open the pillow cover and cut through the folded part. Leave the scissors inside and cut the folded part because this is the 2 pillow covers, not a single cover. So we have a fold. You can also draw a single cover and cut it. When you're cutting, be careful. Keep the scissors inside. Make sure nothing is below the material which you're cutting. Cut carefully. Since this is a multicolor fabric, you can take any color thread which is available in your fabric. I have taken blue. Now let's start sewing. Now secure the threads in your sewing machine. Make sure the threads are perfectly done in all the holes. The bobbin thread and the sewing thread both should be the same. As I already told you, before sewing any material, take a rough cloth and see whether the stitches are properly done. Check the back side of the fabric and the front side. If it's not coming out or it's looping on, check the bobbin case and the threads. Once you are ready to sew, take 1 pillow cover. on the height side, that is 21 inch, fold the material into two, half and half, like you are doing for kerchief, and start sewing on the edge of the fold, same way you did for kerchief. You are folding and stitching the height side of the pillow cover, that is 21 inch. See, you have to stitch here. Stitch at the very edge, not out, not very inside, perfectly on the edges of the fold. Make sure to tighten the stitch on start as well as on the end. Stitch on the corner of the fold. Stitch slowly, be careful with your hands. Now you stitch the other side of the height 21 inch, top and bottom. Same way, two fold and stitch at the edge. Be careful with your hands again. On a table or on a floor, spread the fabric so that the right side is on top and the wrong side is at the bottom. Wrong side is the inner side of the fabric. This part should be at the bottom and right side on top. From the folded side, mark 7 inch for the flap. Mark 7 inch on both the ends. Then fold the flap. Press on the 7 inch and fold it. Make sure your flap is straight. Again check both the ends whether you have 7 inch. Pin the corners, leaving 1 inch so that when you stitch you won't stitch on the pins. Now again take the inch tape. The width of the pillow cover is 26 inch. So measure from the flap up to 26 inch. Then fold the rest of the fabric. Again secure with bell pins on either side of the fabric, leaving 1 inch so that you don't stitch on the bell pins. Make sure the edge of the folded fabric, that is you fold and stitch the other side, no? It shouldn't be more than the flap. It should be at least 1 inch below the folded flap. Stitch on both the sides, leaving 1/4 inch, that is 1 foot measurement. I will show you in the sewing machine. This is the 1 foot measurement. The fabric should be at the foot's edge, 1/4 inch. Tighten below the flap so that it won't come out, the threads won't come out. Make sure the flap fabric, bottom fabric and the top fabric both should be in the same line. You have to stitch only for 1/4 inch. You have to stitch on 2 sides only. Leave alone the flap part, the bottom folded part. Stitch on the other 2 sides where you secured with pins. Make sure to tighten the stitch at the beginning and at the end, and where the flap ends, so that when you put the pillow inside and outside, you won't get the threads out from the flap. Now the other side. Tighten the stitch in the beginning. Keep sewing. Make sure the fabric both are aligned together. When you come near the flap, just check whether it is properly kept. There you have to tighten the stitch. Have to tight stitch. Then start sewing again. Again in the corner you tighten the stitch. Make sure to remove all the pins and turn the fabric inside out. Now we have to sew the 1 inch on all the 4 sides. At the beginning of the video, I showed you the pillow cover leaving 1 inch on all the 4 sides. After sewing this 1/4 inch, we have to turn the pillow cover inside out. Make sure the corners are properly pulled out. Again, secure with pins, because the fabric might get twisted since you are a beginner. Spread the pillow cover on a table and secure it with pins, leaving 1.5 inch on all the 4 sides. When you are sewing on top of the flap, make sure you don't sew the inner fabric, that is the inner part of the pillow cover. You will have it inside the flap. You shouldn't attach that while sewing. You can always mark the 1 inch around using a marking chalk. Then you can start sewing. Mark 1 inch throughout so that it will be easier for you to sew. You can also pin and start marking. When you pin, you don't get the fabric twisted. It will be more easier for you to sew. You have to mark 1 inch on all the 4 sides. Now you start sewing from the flap. Tighten the flap. On the height side above the flap, make sure to stop 1 inch before. Put the needle inside, then turn the pillow cover. Open the flap and see whether you are not stitching the cover below, stitching the material below the flap. If you stitch it, you cannot put the pillow inside, it will get closed. Just pull out. See, you have to pull out the material below the flap, then start sewing for 1 inch. Be careful. Stop before 1 inch. At the end you can adjust the cover inside, adjust the material inside. Stop before 1 inch. Again turn the pillow cover, putting the needle inside. Do not take off the needle. If you take off the needle, your fabric will come outside the sewing machine. Now start sewing the other side, leaving 1 inch. Tighten at the edges of the flap. You can also see the foot pedal and sew 1 inch. If not, you can mark and sew for 1 inch. When you are sewing this 1 inch stitches, don't start from the corners, always start from the middle so that the edges you can stitch neatly. Now let us see type 2 pillow cover, frill type. Height and width will be the same. Flap also will be the same. Here the frills are extra, so we need extra cloth for frills. This is the frill part. You will get frills all the 4 sides. In this cover also you will get this flap. For frill you need extra cloth. Height 17 plus 2 inch. Because frill comes all around, we are not going to leave 1 inch around. For this one we added 4 inch. For this 2 inch is enough. Width measurement will be the same, 26 into 2, 52 inch, and for flap 8 inch extra, total 60 inch. For frill measurement, measure all the 4 sides, 19 on 2 sides, 26 on 2 sides. For frill, you want 1 inch frill, so we need to take 3 inch height, that is double the 1 inch plus 1 inch for sewing measurement. Total 3 inch height. And the width measurement, 19 plus 19 plus 26 plus 26. Total 90 inch. For pleating, always take the total width and double it. So 180 by 3 inch. If you have extra cloth also, no problem. You can always pleat it up. For this type, you can keep directly 30 inch. Total width is 60 inch. Half of 60 is 30. So measure from top 30 inch and fold the fabric. Total width is 60. When you fold 30 inch, you will get 60 inch. Then cut it out. The rest of the fabric you can keep it for frills. I have taken 2 meters of fabric. See, when you get this 30 inch, cut it out. Make sure to measure both the sides of the fabric to avoid cross cutting. Now measure the height of the pillow cover 19 inch and cut the fabric. Mark from the open side. Mark 19 inch throughout the pillow cover so that you don't get the cross lines. Once you mark 19 inch, then take a scale, draw a line and cut it out. This part you can use it for frills also. We need 3 inch for frills. If it is more than 3 inch, cut up to 3 inch. Length is 180. If it is more also, you can keep the pleats little bit closer. Now if you open the fabric, you will get 2 pieces, one for one pillow cover, another for the second one. Always use 2 pillow covers so that it will be in pairs for your pillows. Keep the fabric on the table. The same way, right side on top, wrong side at the bottom. Now mark the flap. This is the height part, 19 inch. Before that, we will cut the frills 180 by 3 inch. Take the remaining pieces. Measure the inch tape. It is 2 fold 21 inch. So you will get 42 inch. You see how many you can cut for 180 inch. So one strip I get 180 divided by 42. See 4.2 something. So you can cut around 5 strips. If it is more, it is always okay. Keep 3 inch and mark 5 strips on the fabric. Then cut it out. You can join all the 5 pieces. Make sure to draw 3 inch on both the sides of the fabric. Always whenever you mark 3 inch or whatever the measurement is, make sure to draw both the sides of the fabric and even in the middle of the fabric so that you get even lines. You can also use plain color cloth only for frills or any contrast color cloth or the cloth color whichever you have in the fabric. Whenever you are joining or attaching two pieces, make sure you keep right and right face to face, not the wrong and wrong, and stitch for half inch. Now keep this aside, go to the sewing machine, secure the threads to the sewing machine, stitch on a rough cloth, make sure the stitches are coming out well. Then start sewing. First let us do the frill part. Take two pieces. As I said before, whenever you are attaching two pieces, make sure right side and right side should face each other. Then only the seam allowance will go inside and it will not be seen outside. See, right and right face to face. Always keep this in mind, right and right face to face. Stitch for half inch. The cloth should be back to back, right and right face to face. Again open the frill part, take another piece of cloth, keep right and right face to face and sew for half inch. If you do this, all the seam allowance will come on the wrong side. Can you see? Right and right face to face, then stitch for half inch. Same way attach all the pieces. Make sure you are not twisting the pieces. Once you attach all the strips, attach both the ends of the strip so that it will be like a round shape. Now take the pillow cover, same way fold on the height side of the pillow cover for 1/2 inch like you do for kerchief. See on the edge of the folding. Same way like we done previously. Sew both the ends. Both the height side 19 inch. Half and half. Be careful with your hands while sewing. Now measure 7 inch for the flap and fold it like we did previously. Adjust to 7 inch. Measure on both the sides. For frill type you will get 3 pieces of cloth for one pillow cover. Flap piece, front piece and back piece. After measuring 7 inch, you can now cut the flap off. In the previous pillow cover we don't cut anything. Here we need to cut the flap. You should get total 3 pieces for one pillow cover. Measure the flap for 7 inch and cut it out. Keep the flap piece aside. Now take the larger piece. You have to mark 26 inch and fold the cloth. You have to mark 26 inch from the unstitched side. We stitch double fold, no? One side went with the flap, the other side you will have at the bottom. Don't measure from the folded side. Measure 26 from the unstitched side. Once you measure to 26 inch, you can cut the folding. You have to frill it up on the 26 inch piece where all the 4 sides is unstitched. Do not use the folded and stitched side. You will have total 3 pieces. One side will be folded like this and one with the flap folded and one with unfolded on all 4 sides. You have to keep frill on the unfolded sides of the fabric. Now take the frill part, fold it into half so that the wrong side should be on the inside and the right side should be on the outside. Keeping right and right face to face. Keep the excess cloth towards your left side. Always start in the middle of the line. Don't start in the corners. Even for pleating you should start in the middle, so that the corners won't get disturbed. Keep the cloth on the right side of the fabric, right and right face to face. Then start pleating. You can pleat towards the needle or towards yourself, but whatever you are starting, follow the same throughout stitching. Start pleating for half inch because we took double the circumference. In the corners, just keep stitching, pull the needle in, then turn the fabric as I told earlier. Do not turn the fabric with the needle outside. Always put the needle inside the fabric, pull up the pressure foot, then turn it. Can you see? just quarter inch before you can stop the needle, because fully you're going to stitch only quarter inch. Maintain the same. After putting the needle inside, now lift the pressure foot and gently turn the cloth and turn the frill cloth. Stitch for half inch, then again start pleating. Whichever side you are starting the pleating, maintain the same direction throughout. Same way, when you come to the corner, put the needle inside, turn the fabric gently and the frill piece gently. Make sure you do not twist at the corners. Stitch for half inch and again start the pleating in the same direction. When you come near to the starting point, you have lesser space but more frill cloth. In that case, you see how much frills you need and check the cloth required, then cut off the excess and you can join the frill piece right and right face to face. Just follow the video. Keep stitching. When you have 1 or 2 pleats left, that time you can cut the cloth, remove the cloth from the needle, then sew the frill cloth right and right face to face and complete the frills. See? Check the space required. Just check how many frills you need more. You can leave a gap of keeping 1 frill. Come little closer. See, you have this much gap only 1 frill. You can remove the needle from the cloth, cut out the thread. Now cut the frill cloth for about 2 inch or 1.5 inch, both the sides, leaving 1.5 inch both the sides. See? That's why I said frill cloth you can take extra also, that is not a problem. Same way the other side also you cut leaving 2 inch or 1.5 inch. Now join both the ends of the frill cloth, right and right face to face, and stitch for half inch. No need to tighten the stitch when you join the frill cloth, because anyway it's going to go inside. Make sure the cloth is not twisted when you complete the frills. Once you join, keeping right and right face to face. Now pleat the excess cloth. Fold it into 2 halves. Pleat it in the same direction as you did before. 1 pleats or 2 pleats, how much ever it is coming. Keep it fully inside. Wherever you stopped, start from that. Now tight the stitch and run through the frills. Now we have attached frills to the 26-inch size cloth. Now we will attach the flap. The folded part should be at the bottom. The unstitched part should be at the top. Keep right and right face to face. Start stitching from the corner. Make sure to stitch both the unstitched part, not the folded part. Start from the sides, the 7-inch side. Keep from the top. Stitch around 3 sides. If you can't handle the cloth, you can always pin it up and start stitching. Make sure to tighten, and in the corners put the needle inside and turn the fabric. Here you have to tighten at the start and end. Now take another piece. Keep from the bottom opposite to flap. The folded stitch should come above the flap. This piece also you should keep right and right face to face. Always attaching pieces, you should keep right and right face to face. So when you turn the pillow cover, all wrong sides go inside and all the good sides come outside. Starting from the edge, stitch all the 3 sides, leaving the folded part. Do not stitch the folded part because that is the open for the pillow cover. Start from the top, 2 26-inch side and 1 19-inch side. Be careful with the frills, don't overstitch the frills. Make sure you put it inside and then start sewing. Mainly in the corners, frills disturbs a lot. Make sure you put it inside and put the needle inside the corners and turn the fabric. Same way, make sure to make a tight stitch when finishing the stitching. Starting and ending should always be done with a tight stitch. Now the pillow cover is ready. This is the flap. You can turn the pillow cover inside out. Now the frills are neatly secured inside. You get frills all the 4 sides. You can keep lengthy frills also. The measurement is just this. What length your frills needed to be. For me, I kept 1 inch frill. So I double it up plus 1 inch for seam allowance. If I need 2 inch frill also, I should double it up and 1 inch for seam allowance. That is total of 5 inch. In next class we can see brief, cutting and sewing. Why brief? Because you can learn attaching elastic in this and how to stitch the curves which is used for neck. See you guys. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, kindly comment below or mail me to dewanisfashion@gmail.com. Thank you.